Hey everybody, I just wanted to do a video about the Foxtrot Mike FM-9 9mm upper for Glock mags. This one has the forward charger. I recently completed an AR-9 build with it and I've been really enjoying it. The forward charger works as advertised. It works great. I have found though that it can be a little bit difficult, especially when you have things mounted on the front, such as I do with a light and then a tape switch for the light, to get this to run in a way that, number one, is smooth, and number two, doesn't tear up your fingers when you are actuating this kind of angled handle that goes this way. I reached out to the folks at Foxtrot Mike, and they were very, very helpful. They told me that they did used to ship with different types of handles, and this is corroborated, of course, on Reddit and all sorts of other places online where you see all sorts of different handles. I inquired about that, and they told me that they do sell the kind of older metal Paratrooper style, which is like a folding style, for $35, and they also used to have different shapes and sizes of forward charging handles, some that were thinner, some that were thicker, some that were straight, ones that are angled like this. And in short, I sent a check via mail to the company, and just today, just a little bit under 2 weeks later, I had the package from them. So I have not opened this yet. We'll take a look to see what's in there, and we'll go from there. Alright, so now that we've gotten the package, we find here the metal style Paratrooper handle with the metal trolley, as they call it. Let's see what else is in here. Looks like they sent me one of the ambidextrous, thinner handles. And what else do we have in here? Looks like another version, or another copy, I guess, of the angled one that's already on there. But I appreciate that. They did not charge me for that. That was just what he said is what they had laying around. And then what else? And a whole bunch of stickers. Some other videos online have said in order to get this out, you basically just have to push out this, or pull out this handle from over here, and I'm just trying to figure out how to do that. I'm realizing it's probably best to just go ahead and remove this light for the time being. And I'm pushing on this side. It doesn't seem to be budging. I might try getting a little punch, see if I can punch it out. It is in there pretty good. Good thing it gave me an extra one in case I mar this one up. Well, I'm going to go ahead and try to figure this out, but I will get back to you once I figure out how to get this handle out. Alright, and we're back. Okay, so I had to go put on some gloves because this is harder than I thought it would be. But basically, I ended up getting a punch, and very, very, very carefully, without marring the this aluminum here, getting a punch and working on this and punching it out until it starts to come out the other side. It's just held in by tension. So now that I've gotten most of it out, I should be able to just pull. Let's try it this way. Yep, and it comes right out. And you'll see here that the it's held in by this spring mechanism here. So when you pull this out, you can see that this is what they call the trolley. It's very greasy from when I had previously lubricated it. Now would be an excellent time to lubricate it again if this is what you were putting back in. And then this is the spring that goes in there. Now you'll see that there's this hole that the charging handles go into. There's a little notch, or like a little detent in each of these. And if you were to put this back in, you would put this in first and then slide this in. I'll be very honest with you that I'm not too thrilled about the idea of putting this in. I don't know that I would necessarily use an ambidextrous charging handle, but if we did, it would look like that. But you would put the trolley in first with the spring, stick this through there, and based on other videos that I've seen before on YouTube, you basically just stick this in and you make sure that, well, actually, I'm sorry, you go this way. of course you would want to make sure that the finger handles are where your finger would go, like that. So again, these go forward. This trolley would already be in place. You slide it through and it should click right through. So anyway, that's that. What's interesting, and obviously this is safe and unloaded since it's just the upper, but you can see the channel, that little hole right there in the middle, through which the, what's it called? The trolley goes through, and that's what pushes on the front side of this bolt carrier group here. So this basically pushes up against this, and that's what racks it. So good. One thing that I do want to try at some point is to see if the normal charging handle, rear charging handle, would work, because there is actually a little pinned on cover. There is still a channel here in the back for a normal charging handle. However, I suspect that this kind of fake gas key is too long in order to interface this, and so it won't interface with an actual rear charging handle, but I actually don't have one on hand. Anyway, so we are now going to proceed with the installation of the Paratrooper handle. So I'll be right back as I get everything all situated. Alright, now that we have the original plastic trolley and handles out of the upper, here is what the $35 actually got me. This is a metal trolley instead, which will actually go this way, spring to go along with it, so we're assembling it just like the plastic one was. And then inside this other bag is the metal Paratrooper handle, which is hinged, as you can see here, and it actually has like a little detent that makes it stay there, and then when you open it, it stays like that. So that's pretty neat. And then there's a little set screw in here. It's supposed to be a 3/32 set screw, so I have my bit here, and yes, I can confirm that it is a 3/32. So what we're going to do next, let's fold this, because eventually when we have this inside, we want it to be folded forward for storage, and then when you pull back, it opens up and you can rack it back and forth. So it's going to go like that. I'm going to go ahead and lubricate this entire assembly gently, or lightly I should say. And then while you have your upper disassembled anyway, you can clean or lube it, but I'm satisfied with the way it looks. So this does not appear to have a sidedness, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it in this way. Oh, so don't do that. Allow the spring tension to stay put. And we're basically lining this up in a way that the spring will go in without getting caught on this little lip here, and push it straight back, making sure that it engages inside that channel that I showed before. So eventually it should have spring tension like that. And then we are going to bring this back. Oh, there we go. Bring this back to where there is a hole visible there. If you don't push it back, you won't be able to, but you push it back. Make sure this is oriented properly. Again, you want the handle to be stowed in the forward position. Place it in through there. And then basically we're just finding where that set screw will go. There's again a little detent, or sorry, a little notch right there. From my understanding, that is where the set screw will go. So if it is, let's just take this out just to show you. When it's out, you line it up until the notch is in there, and then we advance the set screw. So let's try to get this back in. And actually, once you get it in, it should hopefully stay in place. Drop the set screw in. So now that I've gotten it started, I'll show it this way. I'm going to advance it until I feel resistance, and then I'm going to make sure that it's actually in that little notch. There we go. So now when I pull on it, it does not seem like that it's sliding back or forth. In fact, I can take it a little bit more, advance just a little bit more. There we go. I don't think it's going to go anywhere now. And then just to test for function, it folds forward for storage, and you can pull it back. Oh, well, I'm already seeing a problem here. This is too thick for this light right here, so I will have to play with that later on. But the point is that this works just fine, comes back, and then it stores forward like that for handling. But I can already say that you can get 2 fingers comfortably on here, and I'm just going to see if I can force it past this. I do not recommend this. No, I'm going to have to move this. But anyway, the point is that this is how it would go. So that's it. That's how you install the Paratrooper side charging handle on the Foxtrot Mike FM-9 upper with the forward charging handle. Okay, I just wanted to quickly demonstrate what it looks like once the pistol is all put back together. So we'll go ahead and drop the bolt carry group back into here. Close that. That's where the rear charger would go. I've already put down this takedown pin, of course. Close that up, and that's that. So just to show, of course, no magazine. Let's go ahead and show this on camera. So you fold this back, you come back, and I can already tell you that it's actually much smoother and much easier to do this. You can see that it's clear, of course. So yeah, so I have to show it from the top. First, it's folded up like that. You know, I was worried at first that it would be too close to the muzzle. Hopefully when you're doing these administrative tasks, you don't have to do too much in front of the muzzle, but the idea is that you can flip it over from up top and go ahead and do your racking. It seems pretty sturdy. You know, only time will tell how this hinge will hold up, but it is certainly much easier to manipulate that forward charging handle. The other thing I was curious about, let's just see, I'm going to lock back the bolt. I'm curious, I wanted to see if you go, no, it doesn't go forward all the way, but anyway, it's not that hard to put away. But that's that. So once again, here's the final product.